Happy Friday. Hello. It's so good to see you. It's Friday again. We're here 2 weeks in a row again. We are making progress and you're back, and I'm happy you're back. When you get here, drop a comment in and let me know that you are here. It's Friday. Are you doing something? You're on vacation. What are you up to? What's going on in your world this week? So pop an update. And I'm curious to know what you guys have going on this weekend. So share something about the weekend. What's the most exciting thing coming up in the weekend? Even if there's not something exciting, maybe just an update. What's going on? This weekend, I'm laying low with the kids. We're just staying home, which is actually pretty nice. We've done a lot of weekend travel these few weeks, so I'm actually excited to have a pretty mellow Friday. And then moving into Saturday, I don't have anything officially on the books, which is very nice. I don't no major demands. So, what are you looking forward to this weekend? What's going on in your world? When you join, tell us where you're coming in from. Where I am, it looks like the skies are about to open up. The thunderstorms are about to roll in. So we're just hanging out inside. Had an afternoon brief visit to the pool with the kiddos, and now just gonna landslide into the evening and let the kids mellow out. So this week I wanted to move into conversation that's a bit of a continuation of last week's conversation related to starting a billing company. But when you get here, I want to know what's on your mind. So we'll continue always with open Q&A. This is your space, your time. And if you have friends that you know are in the billing world, are interested in joining the billing world, please do invite them into this space. And I see you guys joining. So when you get here, say hello, let me know you're here, and tell me where you're joining from. And today we are sharing one thing that we're excited about for the weekend, even if it's not having anything major to do. No major asks, which is my weekend. So this weekend, this evening's conversation is centered around, so you want to start a billing company. You decided. Last week we were still on the fence. We were maybe trying to make a decision. You were teetering on the outskirts of interest and keeping that day job. Now you've made the decision. So what? What's next? What are you going to be doing with your time now? So the world of billing and the billing company life, we like to, when you're starting a new business, we immediately start thinking of all the to-dos. And in the billing world, there's a lot to do. We've got to think about software and supplies and blah, blah, blah. I am not going to go through that list today. We aren't going to talk about all of the items that need to be done, like the checklist of things that need to be done. Today, we're going to talk more high level. Like, what kinds of things do you need to be doing or thinking about before you start your business? And I have really 5 main points for you tonight. And these 5 points are really important because they are going to help you make sure that you have a business that serves you as an individual, which many of us who started our businesses slightly backwards, we'll say, where you started passion first. And nice. Hi, Lupe. Welcome. New Mexico. What's the temperature there? I'm curious. At this time of year, it's a little spicy. That's my favorite word to describe extreme heat is extra spicy. So what's the temperature, Lupe? I'm curious. So this season, when we're starting to move into billing company and you're thinking about starting a company, really thinking about things, what kind of business that you want that serves you. And there's really some questions that you can ask yourself and things that you can really connect to that will help you really start to focus and hone in on the things that are going to be almost like your North Star, right? The things that are going to help you point in that direction. You're going to take side roads and you might end up with a little detours. So a 95. So I think today she said, Lupe says it's 95 degrees there. I think we probably were a little close today. I think we were 92 or so here, 92, 93 here. It was like really swampy here though. I think you guys have drier heat, which is nicer. We have really swampy heat here in North Carolina. So yeah, well, hopefully you've got some really nice air conditioning. All right, so moving in. So today our topic is, you want to start a billing company. What is next? What do you need to do next? So I love to always start with the most important thing, which is really understand your why. What is your purpose? Why are you starting this billing company? Is it something that is you're looking for more freedom? You're looking for more some time or some it says 89 in Charlotte. I think it's because it's cloudy. I think it's because it's cloudy in Charlotte right now. But the so back to what I was saying. Sorry, I got a little nudge about the temperature here in Charlotte from the from the green room. So basically, when we're thinking about if we want to start a business, you really want to think about whether you are interested in having a little bit more time, or if you're looking for more autonomy or more independence from others. Perhaps you don't want to lead a team. Maybe you are a manager in a practice right now and you've got a team of 10 or 15 people and you really just want it to be you and a couple of assistants, some that are helping you along the way. That's a different kind of business, right? So really think about what is the reason that you're starting this business. If you're looking for more freedom, you're going to start a different business than one that might keep you more connected to that business. So, and I say that if you're on the other side of of the solopreneur, of you being the individual doing all the things, if you're looking for more independence, you're probably going to want to build a company that has a team, a backbone, right? Something that can really stand up on its own without you being the one to be present doing all of the things for your clients. Okay. So thinking about what is it that really fires you up about the idea of starting a business, and start to really think about that as more of a framework for you to start to build your company, and maybe knowing right away who you need to bring in to the fold to help you. Maybe you need to wait until you have the ability to afford some support. Maybe you need to wait till you have the chance to plug into some other individuals that can help you serve your clients. All right, so we've got start, know your why. Know your why is the number one. The next thing is really define what does success look like for you. So number two is define what does success look like for you. So knowing what your own definition of success is absolutely vital, because there are some people who start businesses and right away 7 figures is the number, or beyond 7 figures is the number, so that they want to sell their business and do other things perhaps in other industries. They've got maybe serial entrepreneur life where they're looking for something to serve them for the season and move on to something else. Maybe you're on the other side of it where you just need enough. Maybe you said, I want to start this business and I want to pay for something on the side that's going to be $3,000 or $4,000, a certain portion of my household income, whatever it might be. Really make a decision on what is my goal? Even if it's just the initial 2 to 3 years into the business, what is the target that you're looking for, so that you can really start to move towards that target and help yourself feel the energy behind your definition of success. So really starting to, again, back to that North Star, starting to really point yourself in that direction and say, I'm headed to this direction, instead of going, just kind of running your wheels turning, and then waiting and saying, well, I guess I need to get this amount. And then you're going to the next level and you say, I need to get that amount. And you don't really know. And then you start to settle for something maybe that isn't your clear definition of your clear target of what you were shooting for. So really start to clarify what that definition of success is for you. And if you choose to have something that is a side business, you can have that same freedom and have a side gig. Maybe you're full-time mom, or say 80% mom still, and you want to have this side business that is still bringing a decent percentage of your household income. Then you need to set that same goal. You need to make sure that you're clear that my definition of success is to use my 3 to 4 hours of free time for feeling like I'm fulfilled, feeling like I am contributing to the world in some way. It doesn't have to be a monetary goal. It could just be your goal, saying that you know that you're serving the needs of others, and maybe giving you a little bit of a distraction outside of, responsibilities at home, something that helps you feel like, you're pointing towards, that helps you feel like you're adding to the world in some way. So hi Mohammed, hello, welcome. What are you guys looking forward to this weekend? That was your question of the day. When you get here, you can tell us where you're joining from and answer that question. Um, Let's see. So the number three topic, the number 3 point here, we're talking about what's next when you're starting a billing company. What do you really need to be pulling together? So we had know your why, create your own definition of success. And then now we're talking about really creating a community of people around you that will support you. Start thinking about who you can engage with, people that will free time. I love Lupe. Yes, free time. I like that. Me too. Me too. A little free time is definitely what I'm looking forward to. A little quiet. So creating a community of individuals around you that can help you feel encouraged and supported along this journey. To be absolutely frank, if you do not have someone in your world that has started a business before, that has ever ran their own company or been a leader in another company before, it can be a pretty lonely world. You don't have people that can really empathize with you or even add value to maybe decisions that you're trying to make. And so immediately seeking out a community where you can be supported, where you can ask those questions that are burning. Like, this is a great community here. We aren't centered around starting a medical billing company, but we absolutely have folks in this community that have billing companies. And obviously, you can always pick my brain. And if you are here right now, if you've a question that's in your mind and burning up in your heart all week long and you want to know the answer, I'm always here to answer questions. So feel free to pop those in the comments. And if you're watching this in the replay, you can always put questions in the comments. I always respond to those. So business communities exist in all parts of our country. We're very blessed in this world that we have also a really strong network of online communities as well. So as we're talking about here, but then also online business network communities that have a wealth of reach, and population that really goes in a lot of different areas and different industries. So you probably would find yourself well served to make sure that you are engaged in the right way, that you feel like you're connected and able to really build on the business relationships that you're looking for, and perhaps getting the accountability that you need to get things done. If you get into the right business community, those communities typically have the ability to you can build on those relationships to create little mastermind groups or accountability groups where you can feel really encouraged and supported and held accountable for the goals that you set. It's easy for us when we're alone to say we're going to get to this and we're going to do X, Y, and Z. It's not until we have to tell someone else that we're going to do that and have to answer to them that we can actually get it done. So really be out there looking. If you're looking to start a business, look for the community around you, whether it's in your local SBDC. I'm trying to think of Small Business Development Center. I can't think of the definition of that. So your local Small Business Development Center, they call them SBDCs, to see if they have some support for you, or sometimes they have local business alliances or business groups, group of professionals that are entrepreneurs or already have functioning businesses. It's great for networking, but it's also great just to have that support. Knowing that other people are in the same boat as you can also help you breathe as well. It can help you breathe more freely. So let's see. All right, I have a couple of questions that came in. So Hamid wants to know, says, working as AR caller, planning to start individual billing, where should get providers? He'd like my advice on that. So tricky question because it's hard. It's hard to do a lot of that solely online. So you're really going to do a combination of research on places like LinkedIn, and then also looking in whatever particular area that you want to serve. So whether it's a region or a state, and the specialties that you want to serve. And you're just going to have to get out there and make the calls and the outreach Outreach is absolutely one of the main things that are going to be able to get you in front of people. When you say outreach, like cold calling is still a thing. Trying to get people on LinkedIn to get connected. I also am a big believer in value first. So what can you do for them? How can you serve them? And thinking of those things first. Maybe you can offer a list or a checklist of some sort to help people feel like they're getting value, and you can also communicate your expertise that way. So maybe you're reaching out to someone on LinkedIn instead of just saying, "Hey, I offer this service." Maybe there's some way that you can also provide. Here's a quick steps to making sure your biller is performing their job adequately. Here's a checklist for monitoring your revenue cycle. Really offering some tools that they can implement, and it really helps to lend itself to them understanding what your capabilities might be as well. So I hope that helps. Let me know in the comments, Hamid, if that helps. All right. And then Debbie says she's back from Alaska this weekend in house cleaning. I love that. Can you come and clean my house too when you're done? Just kidding. I so not my exciting part of the weekend. I'm one of those people though, like I'll try to wake up really, really early on like a Saturday morning so I can get it out of the way. Then I don't have to think about it the rest of the weekend. So hopefully you can still have some R&R this weekend, Debbie. So thank you so much for the comments. I'm so excited to have you here. Thank you for sharing. So our next our next point today. So we went through three of our five today. So it's know your why. What is your know your definition of success, and really work through that, workshop that. Get into a community, really find a community of business owners that inspire you, that encourage you, that really help support you in your journey. And the fourth one is understand the risks. And when I say that, I don't mean it only from a negative perspective. When I say understand the risks, like you might be more of a risk taker than someone else, right? So you have to understand what amount of risk are you willing to take. And if you are more cautious and you want to be very careful about how you start your business, what does that look like, right? That's such a broad statement, very general, what I just said, right? So that there might be very concrete things that you need to help you sleep at night, right? So it's like, okay, I must have X number of dollars coming in per month. What does your cash flow need to be per month to help you feel like you can breathe and you can sleep peacefully at night, that you aren't feeling stressed? And perhaps you wait to pull the plug on your full-time job until you feel like you are very close to or already at that stage. So maybe you're doing the side hustle, right? There's no shame in that. Most of us started with the late nights and doing all the stuff, and some of us still did the late nights for the first few years of the business. But at the first few couple of years really leading up to me pulling the plug, I did a lot of stuff on the side. I did consulting and support other providers and all of that in addition to the full-time job that I had. So that if that's something that you need to help you feel like you're capable of building a business without feeling that risk of taking the full leap. And then on the flip side of that, I will say you will never feel 100%. And I will always say this. So the very last point today is number 5, which is always feel like you're right at the edge and ready to leap, and someone's going to push you off. So just start before you're ready. Just go. You need to just take the leap. And not to say that you have to take the leap into like pulling the plug on your job and not doing anything. No, like maybe you still take the leap. You're out there getting the clients. You're doing the work to build the business that serves you, and that is your definition of success. You're doing that even if it's uncomfortable and you're maybe losing a little bit of sleep and you're having a hard time maybe juggling all the things. It's going to get a little hard, and that's okay. Like, be uncomfortable being uncomfortable. Be fine with that stage. It's going to be a really exciting time for you to use that energy, that excitement to help fuel what you're doing. So don't get to the edge and say, "Oh, I'm almost there. I'm just going to stand here and look and I'm going to keep planning and planning and planning and planning." No, like just let your friend push you off. Go to that accountability group or that business community and let them help you get on the other side, just by noticing that the other business owners that you see, these other individuals that you see, they're just like you. There's no difference. The difference is they did it. They took the leap. They said, I'm going to do it in the face of all the fears. Like, there's not any of us that didn't have those fears. Not any of us that don't have that fear of that imposter syndrome that makes us think that you don't know enough, or this person knows more than you, or there's all those little voices that we hear chitter chattering in our heads. We all have that. We all do. And so don't feel like you are alone in that. And sometimes you need to hear from other people that you're not, so that can push you into that space where you're going to be uncomfortable for a little while. And it's always, when you're new, it's always uncomfortable. It's always uncomfortable. And this is going to be an exciting time for you. You're going to remember it. It's going to be it's going to be the thing that's going to help you move to the next level in your life. And again, if you're doing that with the first couple of tips that I mentioned, knowing why you're doing this and what kind of business you want, what is your definition of success, and really trying to make sure that you're using those as your North Star and that motivation, that driving reason. So really think about all of those things before you even sit down to do planning. Like, there's a lot of parts to starting a business, none of which are like, they're everywhere, right? They're not secrets. They're everywhere online. You can Google it and find it everywhere, anywhere. You can also go, again, to your local, local, or even some online as well. The small business development centers, even the SBA has a lot of resources. You can get all that information of the nuts and bolts. But this stuff, like the digging deep and really kind of going introspective about what kind of business you want that serves you, that's just the hard stuff. That's the stuff that deserves your time, not just you going and doing that stuff, doing the steps. You get through all those steps, and at the end of the day, you end up with a business that's not yours. When I say that, it's not the one that you wanted. And you start this business, and then all of a sudden, fast forward 3 years, you're tortured and you feel like you have a job again. That's not the idea, right? That's not the idea. So let's see. Getting the providers seemed to be the hardest part of starting the billing company. Yeah. So listen, I'm going to totally agree with you. It's all about establishing trust and relationships. To be absolutely honest, relationships can be the hardest thing to build in business if it is not something that comes natural to you, where you are currently, or you chose medical billing so that you could work from home and not talk to anybody. You're probably better off becoming more connected to another billing company as a contractor, a subcontractor doing work, that you can have a lot more autonomy in that way. It's still your business. It's still absolutely your business. You're a subcontractor, so you're the one responsible for your business, but you aren't responsible for getting the clients. That might be something, but I'm not saying that's your situation at all. I'm just putting that out there. But in truth, is that the sales part, the sales piece is still a huge part of any sort of business building, right? So you have to understand the importance of sales training. You have to understand the importance of value first, right? Like, what can you do for them that's different, and how can you get yourself in front of those providers by giving that value, right? How can you really show your expertise to them? And that might be through different things. It depends on the area that you're interested in, but I know a lot of other folks who right away, started doing blogs and posting those on LinkedIn, and posting a lot of resources and information into other forums online, just to start to build that awareness. And that's something that you can do that doesn't cost you money. It does cost you time, but it's something that you can do that will help you to get in front of people that are looking for the information. They're looking for experts. Like, this is a very confusing world. The medical billing world, the world of healthcare, is very confusing for most people. excuse me. So it's something that if you can shed some light and provide a little bit of guidance, not only is it great to give just that knowledge for free, is it's great for everybody, for us, and this universal balance, we'll say, in the world. It also will help. It will also help you to just show your knowledge, to help people understand. You good? I've got a little guy in the room with me today. You good, babe? Yeah. Okay. All right. So it also will help you feel to feel confident. It would help them to feel confident that you know what you're talking about, and they're not going to sign on the dotted line and feel like they've been duped, so to speak. There's a lot of companies out. There's a lot of noise in the marketplace. Bottom line, and there's a lot of companies with big budgets that are in front of them constantly. With these big old sales pitches, and then don't have the backbone to support it. They don't have the team that are delivering the right services. They just have a big budget, and they turn and burn. They bring the clients on, and then they move on to the next. After they've burned that relationship, and it's unfortunate. So there's stuff that you can do to help mend that. There are providers that are looking for different levels of billing companies, not always those big conglomerates, but also individuals and people, because in this world of business, it is people centric, right? Even though we think of them as practices, you need to recognize that they're still people, and the folks that are running that practice have the same challenges that you probably saw, either yourself working in a practice, or you experienced your own managing a practice. So think about that. What kind of pain did they experience? That leader, the manager, the office manager. Think about that pain, and really create your resources, tools, and support that I've mentioned already. Create it around that. Really think about, what is it like to be in their shoes, right? So, yay! I'm glad it helped, Shay. Yay! You are so welcome. Debbie, late nights. Yes. Yay. High five. High five. Yes. So, Debbie, we have all been there. And even a couple of years into my business, it's probably is more than a couple of years, a few years into my business. I'm sorry, let me share with you guys, if you're new here. I have had a billing company for 17 years now. I started out pretty young. No one could tell me any different. I just knew that I wanted to start a billing company. A huge part of that, you can listen to last week's video, was me just, thinking that I knew better when I was working in other practices. I'm like, if I was in charge, I would do this differently or that differently. And I just knew it. And then it was my boss, actually, at the time, who started introducing me to other providers to help with things like, hey, can you go over and help Dr. such and such with this, or go over and help? And that's how it started for me. I started doing just some kind of side consulting. But fast forward a few years, after I had some clients and, had normal, I specialized only really in one or two specialties at that time. It was just chiropractic and physical therapy. That was my sweet spot, my comfortable space, my home. And I still, will say, only had that client base 4-5 years into the business, but I moved into serving larger practices. So I got into a practice that had 7 locations. There were this multi-million-dollar, conglomerate, huge practices. The provider does really amazing things in the world of chiropractic, but mostly physical therapy, physical medicine. I think he even has some MDs there now too. And they do testing for organizations. In short, fast forwarding all those years, just to make you feel better, Debbie, I thought I had it all together. And then I thought, I'm going to go for the big guys, and I'm ready, and my business is strong. I realized that I maybe wasn't ready. I stayed up really late nights. I remember weekends, like we were 4 of us in the office on a Saturday night, and it's like 2 a.m. Like, that was the kind of stuff that I bit off a little bit more than I could chew at that time. And so, this goes back to what we talked about earlier, which is, know what you want your business to look like. And at that time, I knew that I wanted to serve larger clients. I just didn't know what that needed, right? What was required to have the larger clients. And especially this one, they had an older system, an older software. And they had this big team, and I thought, there was a lot of inefficiencies, that I knew I could make it better. I'm always that problem solver. That's just my mind. But when I got my hands on it all, I almost realized, like, oh, this is why they needed this many people. Like, there's just their software was broken. It didn't function properly. So, what should have been a fast process, payment posting, was maybe 6 times longer than what a normal practice should be. And so those are things that I learned. I didn't really ask the right questions, right? And so yeah, I completely, I feel your pain, Debbie. So know that if you are doing this now, when do you make the decision to go full time? Spend some time thinking about that, because there's late nights, right now I'm sure you're still doing other things, right? You're probably working your full time. So start thinking about, what does that need to look like, right? What's the definition of success for you? And maybe what's the first or second step to that definition of success? And does that get you the peace of mind financially that you need to go full time? And that gives you just a good kind of encouragement, if you know you're headed in a direction, to still enjoy those late nights, right? To feel encouraged during those late nights. So, yeah, I hope that made sense, Debbie. It's Friday night. You guys have to know this about me. I'm an early riser. And so, this request for a Friday happy hour, which we pulled this 4 different times, like earlier this year, and we kept getting Friday nights winning. And so I really hope that you guys enjoy Friday nights. But I'm going to be honest, I have to have like a little bit of and I didn't have any caffeine today, but I have to have a little caffeine to like last me through the evening times, because you guys, it's like a long day for me. I don't know, it's like 12, 13 hours or something already for me. So I don't, it's not, I guess I wasn't up that early today, but yeah, usually I'm a 5 a.m.er at least. So yeah, so just know that I'm here with you. If you're tired, I'm feeling it. So I hope that you guys are feeling encouraged. And let me see, I look at another couple of comments here. Yay. Okay, I'm so happy that you found that helpful, Shay and Debbie. Yay. Awesome. Well, listen, do me a favor and let me know in the comments, whether you're watching this video live or not. Let me know what you want to hear in the next series. I do have some plans already on the books for us in the live streams, as well as videos that are going up on the page. But I want to know what you guys are struggling with in the immediate future, and at the very moment, so I can make sure that I have those in the right order to serve you. So if there are things that you want to chat about, or you want me to bring someone on to chat about, please let me know, so that I can make sure that we have those conversations. So, and yay, I'm glad. Lupe, thank you so much for those comments. I appreciate you guys so much for being here. We are going to be doing every Friday. This is it, Friday night. Even if I'm not in my normal office environment, you're going to get me on Friday nights now. And like I said, I'll just be sipping on some tea or something most of the conversation, but I will absolutely come with all of my crazy energy and compassion, and passion for this industry. So I will see you guys next Friday. And let me know in the interim, what you guys want to hear, whether you post it in the comments here, or also you can also post it there in the Facebook group. If you're in the Facebook group right now, post it onto the page there. All right, friends, thank you so much. And I will see you next Friday. Bye, guys.